Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. Let's get right into the topic. The top 6 reasons why Virgin Galactic is not a buy. But before we begin, please click the subscribe button below. It really helps me out and it doesn't cost you anything. Thanks so much. This is a space tourism company traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Its stock symbol is SPCE. Their business plan is to send high net worth individuals into low Earth orbit for a very short period of time. For full disclosure, I own 11 shares of Virgin Galactic, and I just looked at my brokerage account. I'm down just over 80%. Just in case anybody thinks that I'm able to move the market one way or the other with my videos, I have a hard enough time getting even one person to like an individual video. I'm not going to be able to manipulate the markets by what I put here. Just to be clear, I'm not shorting the stock. I am long 11 shares. It's in a Roth IRA, so I can't sell at a loss and take the loss against gains on other stocks. But of course, I could sell it at any time I want and use the money to buy something that I have more confidence in, which is probably what I should do. Anyway, let's look at the reasons. Reason 1, terrible long-term chart. Virgin Galactic was taken public through a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company, in late 2019 at $10 a share. Its current price is $8.19, which isn't too bad compared to a lot of companies whose shares are down much more. However, most people did not buy at the IPO price of $10, but rather later on, perhaps when it was in the $55 a share range, which was on 2 occasions in 2021. If you would have bought the stock 52 weeks ago, you'd be down 74%. And if you bought it at the beginning of this calendar year, you'd be down nearly 40%. It's a couple bucks off of its recent lows. Reason 2, recent announcements of flight delays. The company has had one successful launch of a crew into low Earth orbit in July 2021. Since then, there have been no flights, and they've planned to resume launches in the fourth quarter of 2022, but for various reasons that has now been pushed to the second quarter of 2023. So until then, which is about a year from now, there won't be much revenue coming in. Reason 3, the company loses money, lots of money. On occasion, there are companies like Amazon or Tesla that lost a lot of money for a long time before turning profitable, and whose stocks have done fairly well recently. In fact, for the 2 recent companies mentioned, eventually their founders or leaders became the 2 richest men in the world. But for most companies that lose money for years, they eventually just go bankrupt. In the quarter that ended March 2022, Virgin Galactic had revenue of $319,000. Now, if you know a married couple where both spouses are professionals, perhaps one's a doctor and one's a lawyer, their combined annual income is probably at least that amount, if not more. That means that a lot of upper income earners made the same amount of money in a year that this aerospace company makes in a quarter. Since they're not currently sending anybody into space, they obviously have very little revenue coming in. I'm not going to bother checking what the source of that revenue is, but it could well be deposits being put down by passengers for future trips. On the other hand, while their revenue was paltry in the last quarter, they lost a little over $93 million. And looking at their other quarters, they've lost significant amounts in each of them also. I'm not going to go through all the financials here. There's a link in the show notes. Do your own research if you're still interested in investing in this company. Reason 4, they're running out of money. The company seemed to be running out of money, possibly. So on August 4th, 2022, they announced that they are seeking to sell up to $300 million worth of shares in a, quote, at the market offering, as the space tourism company's cash reserves dwindle and the launch of its first commercial space flight is pushed back. In a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission on Thursday, Virgin Galactic revealed that it had entered into a distribution agency agreement with Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs to raise money for general corporate purposes, including working capital, general and administrative matters, and development of its spaceship fleet and other infrastructure to scale its commercial operations. End quote. It's not generally a good sign for companies to issue more shares of stock, especially when it's down at its lows. It's another thing when they're selling stock when it's at its historic highs, but not when it's down below its IPO price. That could be a sign of desperation. Reason 5, they're an extremely risky business. Anytime one leaves solid ground, whether it's traveling on a boat or in an airplane or in a spaceship, there is some risk. I have no doubt that safety is probably their number one concern. But nevertheless, they are sending individuals up 55 or more miles from the surface of the Earth and then returning them safely. Anything connected with space travel at this point is still risky. And think about the few occasions when NASA has lost astronauts, either on the ground or traveling in the space shuttle. Along with various space-related disasters from the former Soviet Union, in many cases, those fatalities caused programs to be delayed or eventually canceled. Obviously, it would be tragic if Virgin Galactic lost any customers, but it would also potentially have a catastrophic effect on the stock price. And reason 6, they have formidable competition. While Virgin Galactic is a public company that so far has struggled with getting more than one mission in suborbit, they have a well-funded competitor in Blue Origin, a company run by Jeff Bezos, which has sent 6 flights containing human crews, including one yesterday. If you were a high-net-worth individual who wants to go on such a trip, you might very well prefer going with Blue Origin, which has had a successful track record of 6 missions and is currently undertaking them on a regularly scheduled basis, as opposed to going with Virgin Galactic, which has only had 1 mission and keeps on postponing their next mission. Okay, those are the 6 things that I wanted to bring up today. I've gotten some feedback from owners of certain stocks in the past. I encourage feedback, either positive or negative. I understand their frustration, and they hope that management will be able to turn the company around. I want the best for this and all companies. I don't want them to go down, and I don't want people to lose money. But hope is not an investment strategy. If you own shares in the company, what should you do? Well, most likely you've lost money on it. Could it go up a little bit and recoup some of your losses? Sure, anything is possible. But my advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, just somebody making YouTube videos, is that maybe you would be better off selling your Virgin Galactic and putting it into something else. What would a better option be? Well, you'll have to look at my other videos that I've made recently to answer that. Okay, that's all I want to say for today. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave your comments in the comment section below, and if you disagree with me, please feel free to point out the weaknesses in my arguments. Hopefully by now you've subscribed to this channel and liked this video. I would love it if you looked at my other videos. Hopefully click the like button on those and leave a comment, even a short one. All those things really help me out in building a following. As I always mention, this is not investment advice. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just some guy on the internet that you don't know making YouTube videos that hopefully provide some entertainment. But I try to create entertainment that gives you a starting point where you can do your own research and potentially find stocks that might have some place in your well-diversified long-range portfolio. Since this channel is not yet monetized, if you want to help me out, I sell small collectibles on eBay. Things like old stock and bond certificates, coins and banknotes, stamps and postal items, and books, along with other things such as Masonic items. You can find my items on eBay with my username stock_tycoon. If you're interested in buying silver coins as collectibles or investments, I usually have some listed. If you're interested in investing in gold or silver as a commodity, I have a few YouTube videos that explain how you can easily do that, plus some of the pitfalls in doing so. I'm on Instagram at AnthonyRR Mills. You can follow me there. Thanks for watching and good luck in investing.